Hello guys, today we're looking at sports cars under 15 grand. Most of them are two-seat sports cars or cars that possibly are 2+2, which means you get your proper two seats at the front, and then at the back there's some kind of small shelf type area where you can rest about half a cheek until it eventually goes numb after 5 minutes. You get out and hope for better things to come in future. Some really interesting cars in here. We start with a few kind of sensible options that are more like daily drivers, and then we get some more exotics towards the end. Some of them are probably a little bit obvious and some aren't, but you'll be quite surprised by what you can get for 15 grand these days, I think. I think it's probably also one or two of them that we won't be looking at too many years now until they start to go up in value. So keep watching and hope you enjoy it. Okay guys, so into the first one. We're looking at the 2011 Nissan 370Z. That's the V6. This is the GT semi-auto. That's a nice car, isn't it? Suit you, sir. Very cool looking car still today. I mean, it's, you know, it's 10 years old, but still looks cool, doesn't it? Still stands out from the crowd a bit different. These things go like stink. It's got a Nissan badge on it, so you know it's going to be very reliable. Obviously, this kind of car, replacement parts and stuff can be a bit expensive, but you've got the reliability factor. They're great little cars, super fun to drive, get down the road nice and quickly. Can't go wrong with that, can you? So price on that one, 14 grand. Let's have a look at the finer details. It's got 50,000 on the clock. Full service history, freshly serviced by Nissan, MOT till August, heated electric seats. Oh, it's got a CD player, FM, AM, woo! Bluetooth hands-free, Bose surround sound, rear parking sensors, xenon headlights. So it's got everything you're going to need, keyless entry, etc. So it's got everything you could possibly want, really. Fantastic little car, and I think it's decent value at that money. There are cheaper ones available, but I thought this one was a particularly good example, and that's a very good mileage. Obviously, you could use this as your daily driver, and it'd be fine. I don't imagine it's going to be fantastically frugal on the petrol, but that's not what these cars are about, is it? So, nice car to get us started anyway. Next. As usual guys, if you're enjoying the video, please just give me a quick like and please leave a comment. Tell me what you think, if you agree or disagree. It helps me massively and it helps to get YouTube to promote my videos. So please give me a thumbs up. Thank you. The 2013 Mercedes-Benz SLK, and it's the SLK 350, 306 brake horsepower. This to me looks like a new car. I'm not always a lover of private plates, but it's the kind of thing you stick one on this and it makes it a bit more kind of timeless. It could probably do with a nicer set of wheels on it or just changing them, but it's a very nice car. Again, perfectly suited to being a daily driver. 2013 model. What have we got on this one? I hate this when they put every function of the car. Interior lighting, wow. Outside temperature gauge, woo. I think just give me the headlines. Infotainment system, which is good. I guess that's the command system. Linguatronic voice control, yeah, command. So the command system's perfectly decent. It's not the best one out there. It's not as good as the systems in the Audi or the BMW. But command's perfectly good. Yeah, nice car. Acceleration skid control, so traction control, which is probably quite important in a little rear-wheel drive go-kart. Nothing else stands out as being particularly sort of crazy spec-wise, but you see just the interior and stuff. This is going to be a nice place to be. Fun little car to drive around in, and you know, to me it looks more expensive than 15 grand. If you know what I mean. Next one is a 2014 BMW Z4. This is the 28i S-Drive. Full service history, heated leather, Bluetooth, Xenons, 46,000 miles on it. HPI clear. It's got obviously an advisory because it's had a private plate on it, which normally this kind of car probably has had one on it at some stage. Oh, last lady owner for 5 years. Full matching Bridgestone tyres, wind deflector, heated leather seats, Bluetooth, USB. So again, it's a fairly modern spec on that car. And if we just have a closer look at the pictures, that doesn't look like a 2013 car. That's a very, very cool looking car. I think anyone would be happy to be driving around that. Sorry, I'm just setting my phone to stun. I think anyone would be fairly happy to be driving around in that. It's a good looking car. Interior all looks fairly up together. And once again, you know, it's a BMW. You'd have no problems using this as your daily driver forever and a day. Just keep the thing well serviced. Make sure it's been well serviced in the past and looked after, and that will serve you very, very well. Nice car. Okay, we get into the interesting stuff now. A 2006 Porsche Cayman S, 3.4, 300 horsepower. Fantastic spec. I'll show you the pictures on this a bit more in a moment, but it's actually a very dark green, which I'm not sure if I like it or not, but I think I probably do, despite the fact it's dark green. It's an interesting one. Again, there are some cheaper ones available around the same time, but this is a particularly interesting example because it's just had a full engine rebuild in May 2019. It's done less than 2,000 miles since that was done, and that cost £7,100. I mean, in practical terms, it's kind of a new car. I know something that happens on these, or they're quite prone to, is like the rear main seal goes. And if that goes and it's undetected and it leaks a load of oil, I guess at some point they can get an engine seize. So it's something you need to definitely keep your eye on if you own one of these. But I would imagine as part of the rebuild, there's some kind of upgrade or a higher quality gasket or something that makes that less likely to happen in future. But they've obviously had a proper job done on it. They've spent £7,000 getting that done. So that kind of shows that it's a car that's been cared for. HPI clear, mileage verified, blah 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 blah, and it's quite a bit under book. So yeah, it's great. Let's have a look at the pictures, because this is the thing that kind of did it for me as well. Obviously, they're nice pictures. They've been taken in the right conditions and everything, and a decent setting. So it's someone that knows what they're doing when it comes to pictures. Wheels could be better, but they are like new kind of diamond cut style wheels, so they look okay. But you could always put something more interesting on there. But the interior, I mean, that looks great, doesn't it? I don't usually like those kind of red interiors and things. They remind me of those trousers that men start to wear when they get to a certain age. I'm not at that age yet, by the way. But you know, you get a man of a certain age starts to wear like red chinos or something, and they're that kind of colour. But it actually looks really cool in this car against that dark green, in my opinion. Not that my opinion counts for much, does it? It's got the sat-nav system in, which is great. PDK gearbox is one of the best. Look at that. Look at that. So you've got there like a 2006, is it? 2006? Yeah, 2006 Porsche that's been well looked after, and it's just had a complete engine rebuild. So essentially you've got more or less a new engine for under £15,000. Something to think about. Right, this one goes back to my youth. The TVR Chimera, or the Chimera, as some people call it. There you go. If you're of a similar age to me, you probably know all about TVRs. They're fiberglass cars. Essentially a plastic coffin on wheels, because they were extremely fast at the time and very, very lightweight. Essentially because the bodywork is fiberglass. And then I think it was quite a very light chassis, like a tubular steel chassis or something that made it particularly light. I can't remember the exact details. Build quality on TVRs, meh. You know, handmade British cars, I mean, it sounds fantastic, but the reality is that not always that great build quality wise. These had a reputation for having kind of a wiring loom that looked like it came from Maplin, and you would do things like try and turn the headlights on and your wipers would go, and weird little electrical things like that. But mechanically, beasts. I think it was a 4 litre. Yeah, 4 litre Rover V8s in these. And the sound of them is absolutely glorious. No door handles, you'll see. There's a little button just under the wing mirror. And you press that and the door pops open. But performance-wise, they were just monstrous. Unfortunately, they do occasionally have a habit of like falling to bits. So, as with all of these cars, but especially something like this, you need to make sure that thing has been well looked after. It's had the oil change when it should. You know, all the mechanical side of things has been very well done and documented. Okay, you don't want to get one of these that's been abused or neglected, because it won't last. But yeah, that was a pretty cool car when I was a lad, and I still think they're pretty cool. That seat's a bit shady, isn't it? That's that's not a difficult repair to do, to be honest. But yeah, nice car. Proper old sports car. Okay, for the last one, we've gone for something a bit nutty. All right, we've gone for this bad boy. So this is a 2015 Chevrolet Camaro, black, auto RS model. This is left-hand drive, American import. But look at that. I must admit, like, I love an American car. I know they're a little bit Marmite, but I just love how brash, and I mean, that is the male extension if you're in need of a male extension. And looking at that car, I think I may be in need of a male extension. So yeah, to me that's just a glorious looking car. It looks like, you know, kit from Knight Rider, and they've brought it up to date. Again, I'm showing my age, aren't I? Kit from Knight Rider, bloody hell! Look at that, such a welcoming location as well. That car lot just says I want to go in and buy a car, doesn't it? Look at that picture. You can almost smell the urine in that. Nice bit of barbed wire around the top, shows that you're in a particularly lovely area. Yeah, but what a car. What a car. American cars in interior sometimes are still a bit 90s spec. Like, you'll see some of it looks quite nice and modern, and then you'll see like a little LCD clock in it or something particularly naff. And there's some suggestions of a bit of 90s spec going on in there, but it's not about the interior of a car like this, it's about the exterior and the performance. And that car makes me want to dance. I want one. So that's a 2015 model. It's got 30,000 on the clock, fully loaded. It's got everything you might expect to get on one of those. It's completely unregistered, fresh import, so you'd have to get that dealt with. Trade sale. So yeah, I mean, I was saying about it being not a very welcoming car lot, but it's just trade sales. I guess this company just imports American cars and punts them straight out the door, and makes a few quid doing so. So good luck to them. But yeah, you're not going to get it valeted. A suggestion there, look, that the wheels are scuffed, but very cool car. So what was your favourite of those cars? Which ones do you think I'm absolutely bonkers to put on the list, and which one are you looking at now after watching this video and you think, I want one of those in my life, I need to have one of those in my life? Obviously a bit of a spectrum there. We've got kind of the reliable German cars that are going to be your daily drivers. Obviously the Nissan in there as well probably fits into that kind of box. We've got probably the nuttiest one being the old TVR, but that's possibly one that's going to be worth some money in a few years, and you could say is a bit of a modern day classic, although how well that's going to age I don't know. And then we've got obviously the crazy American import in there with the little bum cheek shelf in the back to perch on. Which one would you like to own out of those? If you could have one of them, which one would it be? And what did I miss that you think I should have put on the list as a genuine sports car for under 15 grand? Let me know. Okay, see you next time guys. Thanks a lot.